Take a look at our main event tail of the tape, brought to you by Aturo Tires. Higo, 36 years of age. Alves, only 25. Higo's the taller fighter at 5 feet 8 inches. Both men weighed in at the bantamweight limit. Reach advantage belongs to the taller fighter, Leandro Higo.
So keys to victory for the main event for Leandro Higo. He's got to be the aggressor and he has to win the clinch. And I would also like to see some guillotines in the scrambles on the other side for Alves. He's got to cut off the cage and he's got a really good power right hook. And if he finds himself in the clinch, he's got great knees as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your main event of the evening, brought to you by our friends at Valor Energy. Taste the smooth, creamy flavor of Valor's nitrogen-infused functional energy drinks, available right now at Amazon. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, with a professional record of 12 victories against just 4 defeats, 9 of those coming by way of knockouts. Weighing in at 136 pounds, from Bauru, Sao Paulo, Brazil, Marcirley Alves. Across the cage in the red corner with a professional record of 23 victories, only 6 defeats, officially weighing in at 135 1/2 pounds, representing Natal, Rio Grande del Norte, Brazil, Leandro Higo. Your referee for this match, Keith Peterson.
Both of you be giving you instructions. Press cards if you like. Let's fight.
Take a look at our Arkham Advanced stat for the main event. Trade with intelligence. For Leandro Higo, 92.3% of career finishes have been via submission. A lot of those in the very first round.
Sir, you ready? Sir, you ready? Fight!
Higo in the red corner, I should say, red tape on the gloves. Marcirley Alves, dark trunks, blue tape.
Southpaw the orthodox as well for these guys, so that means that the power side is open for both. Power kicks, power crosses. This is why in the keys to victory I talk about Alves using his lead right hook, because he's so invested in that big left hand that the right hook can often bring people onto the end of it.
Flat-footed style here for Alves. Very, very interesting against someone who bounces around as much as Leandro Higo does.
Oh, and again.
Fastball of an overhand left there for Marcirley Alves.
He bits on that body kick feint though.
Body shot there. Alves able to get going early. Body kick dug in those toes right into the midsection for Higo.
Big power shot there. Higo doing a good job of managing this distance between the two of them.
Man, he really wings that left hand all the way around the corner.
If I had hair, I think he'd have moved it from that one. Holy cow.
Felt a breeze through mine, Randy, if that's any consolation.
90 seconds gone in the main event. Winner advances to take on Jake Hadley in the semifinals in Wichita, Kansas. Hadley won via third-round Scottish twister earlier in the evening. I'm sure we'll have some highlights to play of that in our post-fight show. Good right hand there from Higo after the hand fighting with the lead.
Nice work on that sprawl. Brilliant takedown defense. Well read.
Yeah, he's seeing that coming for sure. Higo's got to punch his way into those takedowns. He's not going to be able to reach for it.
I like that body kick that we've seen from Higo a couple of times. Even if it's landing on the forearm, we've got to remember it's landing on the left forearm, the left shoulder, which means it's going to slow down that main weapon of Alves.
Oh! Alves cracks Higo with the big left hand. And now trying to swing. Oh. Higo's able to circle out of it. Another big sprawl from Alves. Randy, he is really winging these left-hand punches.
Sure is.
Incredible recovery there from Higo. And now he tries to pull half guard, tries to drag this fight to the floor.
He's got the left arm of Marcirley Alves. Hammer fist now from the top. And an elbow from the young man out of Sao Paulo.
Higo's trying to drag Alves on top of him so he can start to work a sweep, trying to elevate him with those butterfly hooks, but now Alves has cleared the butterfly hooks, so Higo's switching to a lockdown. There's the lockdown. He's going to try and utilize that to swing his opponent's hips, try and get to the other leg. There are plenty of sweeps here, but Alves is going to be wise to them, which is why he's keeping these frames into the upper body. Beautiful butterfly hook work here, but nothing doing. He recovers guard, and now he's stacked against the fence with a power puncher on top of him.
Leandro Higo peppering with shots from the bottom just to give Alves something to think about so he can't get offensive here. If we make it to the break between rounds, I want to take a look at the replay on that knockdown punch. I think Alves was off balance. It seemed like he threw that left as his feet were going out from under him.
Didn't have his lead leg underneath him.
It looked like Higo landed a low kick that off-balanced him just as he threw that hand.
The fact that he was able to land a power shot like that with one leg underneath him, it's almost Ray Cooper. Not quite, almost Ray Cooper.
You got to have your opposite leg up by your ear in order to make it like the Ray Cooper punch. More peppering shots from the bottom for Leandro Higo.
Yeah, he's quite cautious here now, but you've got to wonder whether he's thinking to himself, well, this round's going my way. I can't imagine he thinks too much about the scorecard, Sean, but, you know, might be a solid first round for him.
Marcirley Alves will finish on top in this main event. PFL World Tournament action, main event in our Bantamweight division. Leandro Higo thought about sprinting across for a flying knee. Alves wise to it. Marcirley Alves in the dark trunks eats a body kick there. Sean O'Connell, Dan Hardy, Randy Couture, cage side for this one.
Cup check.
What I will say about Alves' style while we're having this little break is that the offense is not particularly complex, right? We know that it's blunt force trauma moving forward with big punches, right? But his reads on his opponent are very, very sharp. You know, he's reading the takedowns. He's looking for the takedown opportunities that Higo's trying to capitalize on. Just like he read that flying attack at the start of the second round.
Quick restart here.
Oh, man.
Another nice sprawl from Marcirley Alves. Higo has not been able
Higo started the kick and followed up with a takedown attempt. Alves wasn't having it.
Odds now have switched in the favor of the young challenger, Marcirley Alves.
This is a bit sharper work here from Higo with these long-range punches. Especially if he can feint a little more and try and draw the big power shots of his opponent. He keeps level changing underneath, but he's diving in for both legs, and I think that's a big part of the problem. One of the reasons why his opponent's able to defend these takedowns is because he's reaching for both legs instead of just trying to grab that single leg.
Again, Alves turns away the takedown attempt. Better work here from Higo, but Alves posts the right hand on the side of Higo's head. Take a listen inside the corner of Alves.
He's desperate. Yeah, that's it. Stretch yourself. Defend that takedown. Yeah, defend yourself first. He's gonna
Higo ate a nasty uppercut. And look at the shoving power of Alves there.
Alves is a powerhouse. I think win or lose, he's making a name for himself with this performance. And there was a shot that landed a moment ago that had a real crack to it. It rang around the arena. It looks like he's now trying to meet Leandro Higo as he's level changing with like a scooping uppercut. So watch the rear hand of Alves. Watch to see if he brings it as a rising attack up the center line.
Higo's just made it quite obvious exactly where he wants this fight, and that's really easy to adjust to. He's got to give him something else to think about. He's got to punch or kick his way into these takedowns, or get to the clinch and use the fence again to take this guy down.
Sorry, Sean, carry on.
I was going to say, Dan, we see so often, especially in these lower weight classes, fighters with a very bouncy style. And we're seeing Alves flat-footed. His heels are on the mat 90% of the time. And of course, you can generate a lot of power when you're that firmly planted, but I'm amazed by how quick his upper body movement has to be on the reads, because his feet aren't moving a ton.
Yeah, I agree. But see, what's interesting, though, is to go back to that observation, Sean. When Alves throws his left hand, because he's not moving his feet, it's squaring his hips up, which by default is making the takedown more difficult, because he goes level changing onto a square hip instead of onto a single leg.
He's already halfway in a sprawl.
Yeah.
Take a listen inside the red corner of Leandro Higo.
Yep, that's it. A minute and a half. You need to stay active. Kick him. Yep, that's it. Go up.
Nice angle kick there for Higo. And then a knee as Alves stood back up. Maybe best moment of the fight here for Leandro Higo. Good jab as well.
Yeah, Higo feels like he's got some momentum behind him now. What a sprawl.
Oh my goodness.
Onto a front headlock, but he scrambles. Higo drives him to the fence.
Under a minute left to work in round number 2.
Take him down.
Alves digs a second underhook in.
Higo's really driving forward. Look at that back leg. Look at the sinews in the muscles switching as he's driving in, trying to keep his opponent up against the fence. But Alves has got a great underhook with one arm. And he seems to be an incredibly strong individual, doesn't he?
Short, compact, short levers.
And neither guy really sucking any kind of wind right now. Both came in incredibly conditioned for this one, as the final seconds of round 2 tick away. PFL World Tournament action on ESPN2. 5 more minutes. Leandro Higo punishing the lead leg of Marcirley Alves to open the frame. Something is wrong with the right leg of Marcirley Alves.
Not sure if it was one of those kicks from Higo or something in the scramble there, but he is not moving well.
It was.
Inside kick
came
again.
across. Just stay right there.
Checks the cup. You can see the AI score very close in round 2, but gave the edge to Alves.
It hit you. Yeah. It's accidental. Stay over here. Over here.
Yeah, not intentional, that was.
It's not intentional. It's accidental. It's just now we're going to watch where we kick. Yes? Okay. You good? All right. Ready? Time in.
You can see the slight limp from Marcirley Alves as he moves forward. But he's already banked a couple of good rounds in the biggest opportunity of his mixed martial arts career.
Yeah, he's really struggling to bring that leg with him. That's a sharp right hand from Higo.
Good combination there from Alves.
Good head movement there by Alves, but he's not been able to move his feet with his punches again.
He switched his stance, I think, so he can drive through more on that left leg.
Still got a sprawl.
Incredible, really.
Sharp right hand, and then a good left jab from Alves.
I wonder if the corner of Higo have noticed the altered movement from Alves. It's a nice jab by Higo.
Higo may be sensing that his opponent's slowing down, attacks that lead leg again, this time an inside kick. Good jab from Alves.
Nice uppercut by Higo.
Another switch of the stance and a good head movement again from Alves. 2 minutes gone in this third round. Main event here, bantamweight bracket will be filled out for the semifinals after this one. Winner advances to Wichita to take on Jake Hadley.
Oh, that was a beautiful body shot. My goodness.
Good sprawl again. Alves ridiculous on these sprawls. And nice hustle after the second effort from Higo.
Yeah, there's some flexion in that knee for sure, but it's not natural. Beautiful sprawl, incredible.
Over and over, and then the right hand shove to the face. Get off me, says Alves.
It's like a wrestling drill.
Randy, you gotta love this shot, reshot, but every time Alves is able to turn it away.
Yeah, there's just no setup for the shot. He's just dropping to his knees and reaching for it. And Alves is way ahead of him on the sprawl.
Half a round to go, and you've got to also remember the moral victory for defending these takedowns and the discouragement that's being instilled.
Absolutely, the psychological part of that is huge.
Oh boy. Tit for tat, they go on the strikes. And look how close the stats are. Higo has landed 42 of 99. Alves has landed 40 of 91.
Oh, that was a good low kick.
Nice calf kick from Alves, who sprawls again. I don't know what the percentage is on Leandro Higo's takedown attempt. Oh! Interrupted the forward motion with a check. Probably the worst takedown defense, or excuse me, the worst takedown percentage of Leandro Higo's career on all these sprawls from Alves. Under 90 seconds now.
Fascinating fight this is. Then we're seeing the emergence of a real strong bantamweight here in Marcirley Alves as well. When compared with a great like Leandro Higo, I'd love to be in the mind of Jake Hadley right now, who's sitting cage side watching this, and I know that he expected Higo to win this.
Final minute of this main event fight. Alves shakes out the arms. Oh! Showed a kick through the knee instead. He was blocked by Alves. Good movement there from Higo. Didn't take any of that flurry solid. Big leg kick on the damaged right leg. Spinning back was missing. And look at the takedown from Alves.
This has been a great fight. Respect to both these guys. Coming up to the last 15 seconds.
And look at Alves just gritting it out on what is clearly an injured right leg.
Yeah.
He catches that kick and punches through. Higo has to run away.
They're
Final few
screaming
seconds
from
here.
the corner.
Final bell of the final fight of our first round bantamweight and women's flyweight night in Orlando, Florida.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 hard-fought rounds, we turn to the judges' scorecards. Lorenzo Toledo scores the bout 29-28 in favor of Higo. Harry Porter III scores the fight 29-28 in favor of Alves. Solimar Miranda scores the fight 29-28 for your winner. Moving on to the semifinals of the PFL World Tournament, Marcirley
Marcirley Alves with a big upset over Leandro Higo. 13th win of his pro career and the biggest one so far. That rounds out the semifinal matchups. It'll be Alves versus Hadley, Wetzel versus Gutierrez. We'll see those fights in Wichita, Kansas in June. Dan Hardy's with the winner.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with your winner, Marcirley Alves. After an absolute battle in the main event, I can already see him pointing at his next opponent. We're going to face off in a moment, my friend. First of all, I want to hear how you're feeling after such an incredible win.
Tô me sentindo muito bem. Eu fui treinado para isso, para dar show e ganhar. E eu vou ganhar desse cara aí e do próximo que vir.
Feel amazing. I was trained for this, to put on a great show out here. And I just beat this guy. I'm going to beat this other guy. And then I'm going to become a champion.
And what was the emotion like when you found out that you were fighting Leandro Higo, a tough opponent, a very well-respected veteran? Did you have to change anything in your mind, your game plan?
Como foram as emoções aí quando você descobriu que ia lutar com o Higo de última hora? Teve que mudar muito o plano de luta?
Não era o que eu planejava lutar contra um brasileiro agora, mas esse é o nosso trabalho. E ele é um atleta muito duro, um cara muito bom, admiro ele, o trabalho dele. Mas isso é trabalho e eu dei o meu máximo para sair com a vitória hoje.
Yeah, it's not really what I was planning. You know, to change an opponent, another Brazilian. He's a veteran of the sport, respected name. But at the end of the day, this is a job. We came out here to do a job, and it was a job well done.
It was a job well done indeed, my friend. I just need to ask, how's your leg?
Um pouco dolorida, mas tá bom. Daqui uns dias ela tá boa, já volta a treinar para a próxima.
It's a little bruised. Give me a couple of days. We'll start back in training real soon.
Well, you deserve some rest, but let's get a face-off with your next opponent. You want to say something?
Eu queria mandar um abraço para a galera lá de Bauru, na Chutebox João Emílio, a galera lá que ajudou no treinamento e estão lá torcendo por mim. E mandar um abraço para a galera da minha cidade natal, Eldorado dos Carajás, e a prefeitura de lá que me deu um apoio grande. Obrigado.
Just wanted to send a special shout out and thanks to my gym back at home, as well as my hometown, all the support, teammates, training partners, family, friends. Thank you so much.
All right, let's bring in President of Fighter Operations, Ray Sefo, and Jake Hadley. This is the other semi-final bracket in the Bantamweight division for the World Tournament. Marcirley Alves, Jake Hadley. That is going to be a banger, ladies and gentlemen. You do not want to miss that fight.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Francis Ngannou. Subscribe now to the PFL MMA YouTube channel.